Let's talk Nosferatu, because everybody wants to look like a haunted, soft, gothic vampire sometimes, right? So I just saw Nosferatu a couple days ago, and I was really struck by the beauty of this film, but also thinking about the whole energy of the movie, its darkness, its rawness, and it's really quite an exploration of the Oneiric Essence. So a couple weeks back, I put out this video talking about the Oneiric Essence, which is basically looking at beauty from a bit more of an unconventional lens, more haunted, more eerie, ethereal, and really kind of like this soft gothic energy. And this movie, screams Oneiric Essence. And I just wanted to do something similar to that, but shift it a little bit into the lens of the vampire and taking into account vampiric lore, so to say. So I just really want to look at the color symbolism in this movie and translate that into makeup. So let's get into it. So the first thing I noticed about this movie was how desaturated it was a lot of the time. When it first started, I was like, is this in black and white? Especially considering the original silent film. But it's not. It's these really muted blues, grays, blacks through so much of the film. In fact, when you try and look up stills of Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok, you can't even find any because he's so shrouded all the time. So I want to take into account this really muted feel that was really prominent in the Oneiric video, and looking at colors being very desaturated. So I think that's going to be something I'm going to really focus on in this look today. But then in contrast, you had these scenes that were in candlelight, and then these moments punctuated by blood. And so you have this red sort of energy happening as well, just in stark contrast to all this desaturated grays and blues. So I definitely want to create this look that's going to pair those two elements, the desaturation and the very moody feel, with that crimson, bloody feeling of the dark red. So this isn't about recreating Lily Rose Depp's makeup in the movie, which is really a no makeup, but where she looks very tired and whatnot. But just creating a feeling with makeup today and taking into account the color symbolism of this film. So let's get into the skin first. I'm going to use my tried and true Lisa Eldridge 2.5 foundation. This is the one with the olive undertone. And I'm going to prep with the Milk Hydro Grip. This is my favorite skin prep when you want things to go on very smoothly, but you don't want glow, but you want hydration. And definitely with this look, no glow. This is about very matte skin that looks like the opposite of glow. Now, a couple of pumps of this foundation to start. I'm almost out, and they haven't restocked this shade in so long. If you have an olive undertone, it tends to suit these kinds of looks because you kind of have sometimes that greenish undertone that to the skin that really suits this haunted beauty feeling. And I'm just going to build this up lightly. And once again, like the Oneiric Essence, let's keep our dark circles. Since that video, I've really been embracing my dark circles actually, and seeing them as a feature that I can use sometimes, cover up sometimes, but not feeling like they're inherently a bad thing. I do kind of also like the idea that looks like this can challenge traditional beauty standards and just see beauty from more of a unique lens. Yeah, leaving this blank, but right in this corner of the eye, I'll get a little bit of coverage there. But I think I'll keep some of my veins showing through. I'm not going to fully cover it. So rather than go in with concealer, I'm just going to use this foundation a little bit more in focused areas if there's any extra coverage I want for blemishes or whatever. I just like the finish of this foundation so much for a look like this. I just find it looks so skin-like, and I really want to avoid like any kind of radiance or really makeup-y feel anywhere. Like I just want it to look like skin, and it doesn't have to look perfect, but getting rid of elements of redness anywhere can just be helpful for creating this like somewhat blank canvas. Definitely let me know in the comments who's seen this film, or if you're a fan of Robert Eggers. Like The Witch is one of my favorite movies, and he definitely likes to take things to a bit of a strange level sometimes. If you've seen The Lighthouse, for example, it's almost uncomfortable sometimes. This is the only foundation shade that actually blends into my hand, you know? If you are fair olive like me and ever get imposter syndrome wondering if you have it, whereas other foundations I can see on my hand, but this one's just disappeared into it. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent, but next up I want to do contour. I feel like a heavy type of contour, or just the use of like cool shades in the complexion, is a great idea for this type of look. So I'm going to use the Sephora brand contour, and this is in the shade 01. It's quite cool, and I only use this for specific looks, but I'm going to go in with a brush straight to the product and just think about where I can create more shadows in my face. Even as someone who doesn't have a super sculpted look, I think you can still find opportunities where you can see where shadows naturally form on your face. Like if I'm kind of talking, like I can, start to see them happening there. I'm going to emphasize those. And I'm not going to shy away from the contour today. I do kind of want that cool look happening throughout. And like that, that's heavy-handed, but we're going to blend. And if you did want to try and recreate Lily Rose Depp's look, she has quite the cheekbones. This product is pigmented. So I'm just going to take my foundation brush and just like buff it on top. I want to emphasize the temple. I normally do this with bronzer, but I'm going to try it today with contour, like starting to bring it onto the lid, under the jaw. Of course, the sun keeps coming out, which is really not the Gothic Vampire vibe today. If the light keeps changing, that is why. At this point, I'm just going to pop off camera for my brows. I'd say do really whatever makes you comfortable. Just avoiding any brow that looks like too sleek and modern can be a good idea. For example, Lily Rose Depp, her brows in this, were pretty full, but sparse. They weren't super filled in and perfect. They looked pretty natural. So I recommend that. And then let's think about blush, lips, eyes. So I actually think you could skip blush entirely if you really like the sort of severe look of a quite blanked out complexion and then just contour. But I love blush so much. I want to use it. And this shade in particular, I have been loving. It's from Rituel de Fille, and it's the shade Moth. It was limited edition, so if anyone knows a similar shade, drop it down below. But I've been using it a lot, sometimes on top of a more vibrant blush, just to kind of desaturate it. It's this really great shade that I don't really have anything like it. And I'm going to build that up a little bit, start sort of smaller at first, and then basically avoiding looking too flushed. I just want to create dimension and a little bit of that, dark red, rusty kind of color happening on the skin that reminds me of the reds and the blood reds happening throughout the film. And I made sure to clean my blush brush before because it had other pigments on it. You just really want to avoid anything kind of vibrant or bright. So I'm going to start there. And I find it just it's almost like it has a muddied quality to it and it blends into that contour. I'm just working kind of in a line on top of the contour. I'm going to powder at this point, and I can use the powder in a way that's going to emphasize the contour. So this is quite a fair brightening type of powder for me. I'm going to start right there, bring it down, like following the line of that contour. I'm just taking off the lip balm I had on, because glossy lips are not what we want here. You could kind of end it here if you prefer a desaturated lip and you kind of want to keep it consistent with what, you know, looks almost historically accurate, like no blush or lips, but I really want to lean into that feeling of the blood red, and the lips are the perfect opportunity to do that. I'm kind of curious about using this as a base for the lip and then building it up with a darker red potentially, but I'm really curious about how this might look on the lips. Yeah, like it's definitely not a red. This is maybe like a good desaturated base to then blend on top of with a darker shade. So funny how a shade will look so different on the lip than the cheek sometimes. Yeah, you could leave it there. Let's try a really, really rich dark red. So I'm gonna go in with Rituel de Fille. This one's Ravenous, which is pretty great shade name for this type of look. I'm gonna start it at the center of the lip. And then like start to blend it out from there. I'm using a lip brush to get it to the edges of the lip. I truly think this is the most perfect shade I could have used for this. And I feel like just getting that extra bit of depth in the inner part of the lip just creates its own sort of vampiric feeling, because you think of the like drinking of the blood. And it also reminds me of the Chapel Roan VMA look, which I did in a reel, and I used this shade. But I've just like brought it out a little bit more than in that look. This is the point where I'm feeling really good about this look. I think it has this sort of magnetic, haunting quality to it, and I feel like it just gives this vampiric energy, softly gothic. And I just love how the colors are working together, that I'm unsure whether to do an eye with this. Red in the waterline could also be really cool. I think for now, I'm just going to see what happens, just creating a touch more dimension around the eye without it looking like eyeshadow. So I have from Wonderskin, it's like this stick, like a cream stick, and it's a taupe. The shade itself is mink. I'm just going to do the kind of the same thing I did on the contour step. It's like put it on a brush and squint my eyes and just create this touch more depth in the eye area. It's like going quite low, almost like I'm re-emphasizing the eye bags, the dark circles. You know, it's like created even more feeling of vampire and a little bit of that into the eye socket. Like blending the outer sort of smudging into this shading. To put red in the waterline or not? You know what I think I'll do? I'll try a little bit, and if I don't like it, I will just get a Q-tip. I'm just kind of curious how a bit of red might like tie in the lip to the eye and just look kind of even more eerie. So I'm just gonna start small and just, you know, maybe even just like a little bit, like not the whole waterline. Yeah, I think add the red if you just really want to lean into the especially eerie quality of this. And I feel like it does feel more vampire to do that. So sometimes I like to skip mascara with a look like this. What I'm going to do just for the sake of like things showing up on camera more is just take a brown mascara, and rather than like really coat the lashes, I'm just going to do like the softest kind of emphasis just to like make the whole look feel kind of more put together. Just like applying it really, really lightly. And this is the finished makeup look. I'm really happy with it. I think it's conjured what I wanted from this. And I really love how makeup can be like a storytelling device, really. And you can really use color in a way that is evocative of something. So that's like definitely my goal when I'm like bearing in mind something like this, a movie like Nosferatu. I just feel like this is giving this like haunted quality, and the reds are just conjuring that feeling of like the vampire lore. And I think this is really fun. This is the kind of look I would in particular like wear for like a evening, something in the evening in the winter or autumn, just like really leaning into that dark red and the desaturation of the skin. So yeah, this was a really fun one to break down and just like show another version of like the Oneiric Essence, because when I first did that, I know a couple of you wanted to see it with like a darker lip as well, but this isn't as saturated as a lot of reds. Like it has that dark element to it. Oh, by the way, if you're curious about my nails, these are Flicker from ILNP. I just got it and I love this shade. Yeah, I just feel like once everything's all done, going a bit heavier handed with that contour like works out once you have the blush and the powder to like really blend it in. Because at first it's like, ooh, but then once it's all said and done, it kind of works together. So that's it for this look. I hope you guys enjoyed this exploration. And if you want to see more like this, definitely drop any suggestions in the comments down below. And yeah, Toasty, let's take it away. Toasty, thoughts on Nosferatu? Oh, he didn't get to come because we saw it in theater. I really want to see it on my TV, because when you see a projected movie, like you don't get the rich blacks that a screen will get. So I'm really curious to watch it on my TV again. And if you watch it at home, do not watch it in the day. You need that dark. You need the dark to be able to see this movie. It is so dark. Anyway, thank you all for watching until the end. Until next time, may you all find yourselves a little bit of makeup magic, and we will see you in the next video. Bye, witches or vampires.